Whiskey Tango Victor, welcome to the vehicle. So just following on from my other kits I've been doing, I've done modular kits, I've done improvised kits, I've done commercial kits, I've done some, this is my kind of vehicle kit I kind of keep on there, but there's one that is not very common that I got out of necessity. Now, I remember me telling you that there was a time when I was just driving along on a remote road with my family on holiday with a whole cartload of people and luggage, and I came across the most horrendous crash. It's probably one of the most serious vehicle accidents I've come across, and I had no gear. I had no gear whatsoever. Pulled onto one side of the road because the kids were flagging people down. Didn't know I was a paramedic, but it certainly helped. And I was on scene for a number of hours. Actually, to cut a long story short, I was there, no phone access whatsoever because it's country WA, and police force turned up and they had a first aid kit which I used. It was a basic. It was a bit like my workplace first aid kit, the modular one. It was quite advanced. Waypole, in fact, now carry, I believe, chest seals, but their level of training has gone up. So they arrived, I could use theirs, and then the volunteers turned up, and they got really kind of twisty about me using their gear, even though you know, there's got to be a certain amount of professional respect. And when I give a handover and I expect to be able to use some of their paramedical gear, I expect there to be no hostility between it. But that's a different story. Fire has turned up, we cut the guy out, and it just happened to be an anaesthetist that was wandering back from Margaret River, and they'd been surfing, and I happened to had worked with them, and they turned up, and so they helped me establish an airway. And then there's a trauma surgeon from Royal Perth Hospital, one of the hospitals here in Perth, but I'd also worked with, I think, as a registrar, and between us we were about to do a craniotomy, I think, a burr hole. We're about to do a burr hole. Anyway, different story. It was pretty slanty. So as a result of that, I thought I'm going to get myself a small first aid kit. Now, we'll put the details of this underneath somewhere. I found this. It's from the States. It was from the internet. I can't remember who it is, and I'm so bad because I haven't done all my research to say this is exactly where I bought it from, but I'm sure Mark will put that down below for us. It literally is, it goes on the headrest, and I'll show you afterwards. I'll maybe attach it on my hey, I've got a strap on. I'll put you on my strap on, and I'll just show you how it's mounted. I shall mount the strap on, and I shall, yeah, okay, let's not go there. I'll put this on strap on, and I'll show you where it is. It basically sits on the back of a seat rest. Super duper small, clamshell type. It's made out of Cordura. It's got a nice symbol on there, so you know what it is, even though it's in black. I don't think they do extra colours. It's got a pull strap, which I shall show you how to use that. It's also got a hook with a little one-way clip on it. I suppose you can hang this off of other gear. I'll show you the mounting on the vehicle headrest. It literally is a small IFAK, and it is vehicle mounted because it's designed to fit on the headrest of a vehicle, so that's what makes it in this vehicle category. It's got a nice piece of nylon here that we can just grab. I probably wouldn't have gone for the tactical colour. It does fit in with the seat tabs, but it does make it difficult to find if you weren't looking for it. Once again, this is a nice tactical olive green colour. I would like this to be like red, just so we know that it's medical, and we know what to do with it. It's just not a piece of strapping. But basically you can pull this and that opens up like a clamshell type of environment. Once again, I do have a rapid tourniquet, a rat tourniquet in here. We went through that in my modular version. This is a type of tourniquet that's available here in Australia. It's not your tactical type of tourniquet. Once again, I prefer the soft T. Others prefer the cat. I mean, there's only two. There's so many copies out there. Make sure you're buying the right ones. Don't buy ones from China or from shops that are a little bit dubious, let us say. Make sure if it's a soft T, make sure it comes from North American Rescue. If it's a cat, make sure it comes from a proper cat place. Maybe that's North American Rescue, I don't know, but make sure it's proper gear and not fucking hooky shit, because it looks good and like it'll wow your girlfriends and stuff like that until you go to use it, and it will let you down. Like these imitation tourniquets will fail, and they'll fail at the critical aspect of when you're trying to stop bleeding. These rat tourniquets, once again, it's based on a Samway anchor type of principle, where in fact you've got some elasticated cord that you can wrap it round. It's got good traction, it's got good kinetic energy in that cord, and the only reason I have this in my pack is because A, it's cheaper and I'm not made of money, and B, it's a lot smaller and lighter to keep in a pack such as this. It will fit in there quite nicely. Yeah, I know lots of people say that a soft T or a cat will probably fit in here too. Yeah, you're right, they probably will, but I just had one of these, so fuck it, it's my kit. I'll put what I like in it. What else have we got in here? So this is really small and modular. It is what it is. It's an individual first aid kit that's going to be saving lives, and it's going to be your go-to kit if you've got nothing else. In here we've got gloves. Oh, look at that, I do have a rat too. We got gloves. Yeah, they're black gloves. They're not perfect, but they're all I had at the time. Just a handful of gloves. Like, you don't need to go for a whole box for the gloves. You're going to use maybe 2, maybe 3 pairs, and that's about it. If you're using any more, then you know the scene gets bigger. There's a Siloam nightstick. There's 2 Siloam nightsticks. There's a white and a red Siloam nightstick. Okay, white for your working light, and also for the indication light. Your red light stick is your hazard identification and your warning, and also a marker. In here as well, I've got some basic, all this is just a small bag with some band-aids, some betadine wipes, and some basic aspirin, Dispirin. This is your kind of first aid boo-boo module. Yeah, I did lie. I've got a cat in here as well. This is cat or tourniquet. It's so difficult to use, isn't it? So it's black. It's black on black. This is a cat tourniquet. I like the cats only because they're nice and light, because it's got this carbon fibre rod, and it's not got the big shaped engineered aluminium rod or hybrid rod that the soft T has. This is a cat version 2, I believe. It's always good to have in your gear. Yeah, so two tourniquets for me. In here again, what else have I got? As I said, this is more slightly trauma orientated. I've got a cutting gear. This is from LE Gear in Australia. So this is just a simple device. So if you've ever tried to extract someone out of a vehicle and try to cut their webbing, it's a fucking difficult task. This is just a small tool that you can just cut through webbing or seat belts to extract someone. Nasal pharyngeal airways, if you know how to use them, you should be using them. So this is just a basic airway tool. I prefer them in trauma rather than your esophageal or your oral pharyngeal airways, literally because unless someone's got a base of skull injury or head injury, I think they're easier to use. Quite often with max-fax injuries and facial injuries, using a geared airway or a oropharyngeal airway is problematic, so I don't like them. That's why I carry the nasal pharyngeals. Bleeding, we're going to look at your March principles. So you got massive hemorrhage to start off with. So yeah, that's my quick clot that I have in here. and that's basically just a granular type of quick clot, so I can just pour it into a wound should there be a wound on site. I can't stop with tourniquets. Remember, Australian Resusc Council guidelines now recommends the fact we use hemostatic agents in junctional type of positions, and if we can't do that, then we go for a limb tourniquet if we've got excessive bleeding or life-threatening bleeding on a limb. So there's a place for both, isn't there? There's places where the tourniquet is better for use than the hemostatic agent, and other places such as junctional wounds, axilla and groin and stuff like that, you ain't gonna get no tourniquet in, and that's basically where your hemostatic agent comes in. Last but not least, that's my Olay's dressings. So Olay's dressings come in two different types, so they come flat and they come round. Obviously there's really good indications for both of those, exactly the same dressing. So the flat one I find packs away into these packs really quite nicely. The big roll-up ones tend to take up more room, I find, so I don't like them. So once again, that's your massive trauma, so that's your trauma dressing, also packs away in here. There's a little, I don't know what this is for, but there we go. And this is a little slidey ring. You can attach a pen light on here, or other types of items. I mean, it's quite useful. I don't use it obviously because it's not got a thing. It also velcros off. Quite nice. So MAR tactical gear, marztg.com. I don't know if you can pick that up. That's who makes this device. I think there's a few, but overall I like it a lot because I think it is what it is. It's your basic. Look how much gear I've got in there. It literally is a trauma kit. Now once again, it's not a first aid kit. First aid kits don't commonly carry nasopharyngeal airways, don't commonly carry tourniquets or hemostatic agent. So let's face it, this is an IFAK, and it's vehicle based because it's meant to go on the mounting of a headrest, which we'll go through in a second. Okay, so leaving my cheerful film studio behind, I think you will see over there, that's where the medic case is. Coming through, you can see that this is where it sits. It sits nice and snugly on the back of a seat rest. So that's just awesome. It's got this frame here that attaches to the back of the seat. It's all velcro, and pretty much it's got this funky little easy grip device that I'll do that once again. So just to grab it, it's a simple quick release grip. Basically just you can pull it down and up, and it releases, and you take it out, and that's your pack. So that's a fantastic little adjunct for a vehicle. I'd say if you're looking for a vehicle kit as an annex, you'd certainly get one of these. So we'll go back now just to the vehicle. So back in the back of the vehicle, this is the vehicle studio. So Whiskey Tango Victor, back to the vehicle. Look, I've just taken my strap off device off because otherwise it's embarrassing and it's not that kind of video. That's next time. Just to sign off and say that's basic my review of it's a commercial bought device. In fact, the bag's commercially bought. That small back of seat IFAK as it is a vehicle based first aid kit. It is really minimal, and sometimes, as I said before, like minimal is best. You don't need to be lagging over a great big detailed kit. It's got your breathing, it's got your airways in there, it's got your little band-aids. So in some ways it's kind of the perfect kit. No, it's not going to do your eye injuries, and no, it's not going to do your splinters, but life-threatening stuff, which is your airway stuff. We've got the nasopharyngeal airways, it's got your bleeding, it's got your hemostatic dressings, and it's got your tourniquets in there, plus it's got your PPE. Look, I just think it's a great little thing. If you like this channel, please subscribe, like to say that you like the video, because otherwise I've got no indication whether I'm rattling on about things you've just got no interest whatsoever. I mean, these vehicle based kit reviews are from reviews. People, mainly friends of mine, have said get your arse in gear and do some vehicle based first aid kits. Not more than happy to. It's a fantastically huge subject. I'm quite knowledgeable in a lot of aspects of that, so I'm more than happy to give you my thoughts on what kit works, what kit works for me, what kit works for other types of environment. We'll go walking in a few days time, and we'll do some fieldcraft stuff. So thanks very much for liking my show. Thanks very much for all your comments. Look, all good. So until the next show, let's go.